Hey everyone, today is Friday, August 20th. The time right now is 2:24 p.m. and the temperature outside is around 29 degrees Celsius. And that was a Line 1 northbound train leaving College Station here. And in rolls a southbound train. And for this one, I'll be heading on up to street level. And I'll head south down Yonge and find my way over to Victoria Street. Then I'll walk south down the entire length of Victoria Street. And that should take me to Berczy Park. And then from there, I'll probably just walk up to King Station. So this will be a relatively short one today. I think Victoria Street itself is just over 1 kilometer in length. But it has been a while since I've recorded a video on it. So this here is Carlton Street. And there's a look to the east. And there's the intersection of Yonge and Carlton. And on the other side is the beginning of College Street. And there's College Park. And a look north up Yonge. I think this might be a water main replacement going on here. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. And I'm currently walking south on the east side of Yonge. And a look east. And there is the Aura Tower. And in the base of that building, where Bed Bath & Beyond used to be, will soon be an urban IKEA. That's a rather fancy bubble tea shop. I have not noticed it before. It must be pretty new.
Right, Caroline? Oh, you love it.
And there's the somewhat ill-fated shops at Aura. It's kind of a deserted, failed mall. There's a few stores down there. I did a video on that not too long ago. So coming up is Gerrard Street. Then it'll be one more block south to Gould. And that should take me to the north end of Victoria Street, where I'm heading. Just here on the left, there used to be a steakhouse called Lindy's. I remember that from my childhood. I think they left in the 90s at some point. And that Fire and Flower used to be an Elephant and Castle pub. And on this corner used to be the Big Slice Pizza. And that turned into a stalled condo shop that was, or condo development. And the developer behind that folded, and it's been taken over by a new developer. And you can see they already have part of the old facade preserved. So hopefully this doesn't end up as an eyesore for too much longer. And Ryerson University is just off to the left. There's always lively music and things going on at this block of restaurants here in the corner. That's the Chelsea Hotel just behind it. I can't see that construction has resumed. You can see it's kind of partially excavated right now. There's the famous Zanzibar. And they have resumed operating. There's Jollibee. I'm still waiting for the Yonge and Eglinton location to open up. And just on the left here is the Ryerson University Student Learning Center. And this opened up in 2015. And it cost $86 million. And usually this area is packed with students hanging out, or at least people who are around that age group. But there's some construction going on. So this here takes us into Ryerson University's campus. It looks like there's some kind of filming happening right here. And this is either the Devonia Pond or Devonia Pond. I've never heard anyone actually pronounce it. And I think this stretch here is called Nelson Mandela Way. But right here is the northern end of Victoria Street, so I'll be heading straight south down to where the street ends. And at the next intersection is Dundas Street East. And I think on the left here is a Toronto Public Health unit. And this might even be a safe injection site.
For security, they need a raise.
Someone's not having a very good time. I'm just gonna cross over to this side and we'll pass through the square. There's a look towards the intersection of Yonge and Dundas. He must be some kind of pigeon king. I guess that's what happens when you feed the birds. Look at that. All right. And there's a nice sight, some double-decker sightseeing buses. And they seem to have a good crowd. They're still void of international tourists for the most part. So I'm assuming these would be mostly Canadians on here. There might be some Americans who have taken advantage of the lifting of restrictions and come in. All right, back to Victoria Street. And that building straight ahead is the old Olympic Spirit building. Almost said that wrong. And it turned into the home of City TV and Omni. After Rogers took those operations over, they were relocated here. City TV used to be located at the iconic Chum building on Queen Street West. And this was built, I'm not sure why it was built, but it was built as an Olympic center. And it operated for a few years from 2004 to 2006. And it cost something silly like $42 million to build. So I guess it was some kind of museum to the Olympics. I never got a chance to visit. And I think that was the problem because not many people did. And Toronto has never hosted the Olympics. So it's kind of an odd thing to have. And right there is the Senator. That's a popular diner. They're not open right now, and right next to it is the Jazz Bistro. And I think there used to be a jazz bar called Top of the Senator, and that right in that spot where Jazz Bistro is. That might even be a carryover from that.
Okay, so do I have tea there?
And just here on the right is the backside, the Ed Mirvish Theater. I don't think they ever got around to having Hamilton there. And this opened up in 1920, and it seats around 2,300 people. And it was rebuilt a few times in 72 and 89. In 89, it opened up as the Pantages Theater, and it was home to the very famous Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. And it was then later renamed the Ed Mirvish Theater. I think it was even the Cannon Theater for a while. And next to it is the Pantages Tower, presumably named after the old theater. And there's St. Mike's Hospital. And at Shooter Street up ahead is the emergency room for St. Mike's. And the Mirvish Theater is one of 3 or 4, I guess, depending on how you count them, notable theaters on this stretch. And coming up here, right at Shooter and Victoria, is Massey Hall. That's straight ahead on the southwest corner. All right, I'm gonna go across. So there's a look towards the Eaton Centre. There's normally a somewhat iconic sign hanging right from this part of Massey Hall. It's currently undergoing a very extensive renovation. And that place opened up back in 1894. It's more of a concert venue than a theater. And I think they're adding 2 smaller concert theaters to the building. And somewhat recently at the Juno Awards, the surviving members of the Tragically Hip played a song there. There's a look up at the Pantages Tower. And it doesn't look like I can continue any further. This is not a great spot for pedestrians. You're obviously not using these streetcar tracks. This would serve as a connector route between the Dundas, Queen, and King streetcars, allowing them to take detours and turn them around, but there's no plans for that, it seems. And on the right is the Royal and Elgin Winter Garden Theatre. And this is actually a pair of stacked theaters. I think the Elgin being the one on top. And it's the last surviving theater of its kind. And back in 2004, Conan O'Brien came to town for 4 nights and filmed his show there. And I think that was subsidized by the city of Toronto itself. They're looking to drive tourism back to the city after the SARS outbreak. And like the Ed Mirvish Theater, you would access that from Yonge Street. And here is Queen Street East. There's the look over at Saks Fifth Avenue. And coming up would be Richmond Street.
Turn left at the Lombard Street, then your destination will be on the left.
That guy's navigation is turned way up. I think we all know where they're going now. There's the Cambridge Suites Hotel. Not sure if that place is any good or not. So this will take me down to King, where there will be no marked crossing, so that'll be fun. There's usually no problem finding a break in traffic. Okie dokie. And here's Adelaide Street. So the last one was Richmond, which runs to the west, and Adelaide is one way to the east. So this would be pretty much the heart of downtown. We are a few blocks east of the financial district here. And that would be just off in that direction. I'm not sure why that taxi driver was staring at me. I guess that restaurant there is having some kind of event. Somewhere around here is the old passport office. And there's the Imperial Life Building. And coming up is King, so we're almost at the end of Victoria. And one block To the west of here is King Station. And there is the King Eddie Hotel. And I think that's 118 years old. I did stay there once, and I was upgraded into a suite. It was kind of a neat experience. My only complaint is that the HVAC was pretty loud. And look at that old right-hand drive car. 56 Bentley. That could be finding its way over to a movie set. And this is Victoria and Coburn Street. Although this is confusing. The sign there says Coburn Street, heading east to west. And this one would make you think it's north to south. They both can't be Coburn Street. It's actually throwing me for a loop there, but I thought that I was on Scott Street. I thought that was the end of Victoria there. Maybe I'm just blind and missed the sign. But I'm pretty sure that was Scott Street. Oh, and this is new. They've opened up the walkway here. And just across the street is Berczy Park. And I had a thought to head over there. I'm just gonna go. And take a peek at the fountain. Good to see things back to normal here. The one thing that would be missing would be all the workers from the financial district hanging out here, especially during the summer. This is a favorite place for them to grab their lunch or a snack. And here is Wellington Street, functioning as a one-way street for this stretch. As Front Street, which runs parallel to it, just to the south of here, is one way in the opposite direction. There's a Scott Street sign. Where were you earlier? I'm just going to make my way up to King Station and head back up north. I do have an appointment to attend to at 3:30, so I should be on time, if not slightly early. So here is Yonge and Wellington. I'll let this guy turn. I had a thought to cross there, but the light was flashing. We'll let him go. looks like there's an outdoor patio space set up for this pub that never got utilized. I'm just gonna cross at the lights here. I'm gonna turn into Melinda Street here. Just gonna wait for these people to pass by. Oh, there's enough room to slink through here. There's a look up at Commerce Court West. There's an exit to the, or entrance to the subway. I guess it's also an exit right here. And there is the fabulous Commerce Court North. And that was formerly the tallest building in the British Commonwealth, and that opened up in 1931. And I think it's the nicest example of an Art Deco building in Toronto. There's Brookfield Place straight ahead. And parking enforcement busting a few people. Looks like that car has seen better days. A lot of people take offense to parking enforcement, but if the rules are clear and the signs are clear and you still break the rules, well, you really have zero argument. I sympathize with anyone where it's ambiguous and they were genuinely duped, but it doesn't matter what your excuse is. And if it were life or death, then obviously the cost of a ticket is not very important. Every once in a while you see someone having a meltdown. I've only ever caught one on a video before at those people, but really they're just doing their job. If you don't like it, follow the rules. And it's in the King Station. I have worked up a bit of a sweat. And it looks like I just missed a train. Or not. All right, I hope you enjoyed this walk along Yonge and then Victoria Street.
Please stay clear of the doors.
Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. There are links to Patreon and channel membership if you wish to support the channel. All right, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.